Good morning. Welcome. Morning, afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is for you. Welcome. Here we are with me, Wingish Nive, Majenki Kwe, Christiana Carr, and Chris Carr, Superstar. Yeah, this beautiful divine being right here. In a very lot of pain today. Extra. My neck is kind of slowly disappearing. Shoulders go up. It really hurting. I'm having a grieving day. So I thought, how do you find your center and ground? For me, this is part of it. Come up and do my smudge. I was kind of, most of it is actually for me is going within, right? But this helps me too, doing these lives and this YouTube channel, right? And sharing this and how I process and find my center and ground myself again. I'm grieving my son that's, he hasn't died or anything, but, I don't see him. It's been going on a year and a half now or more, and I know his wedding's coming up, and I've missed out on the, the celebrations of that, and even getting an invitation. So that's been something that's coming up. I know my energies have been fluctuating, but that's sort of just came up today that's what this is for me. Really missing that boy. Well, he's not a boy, full-grown man, and I'm very proud of him, and I'm very blessed to have had the time that I did with him. So it's just looking back, remembering those, right? I've been going through my pictures, right? Looking for things, or, the Google Photos comes up, oh, these memories at this time, like so many years ago, or whatever, right? So, yeah. So just going through those memories. I was just looking today at our little adventure across Canada. There's his dog Shika, my boy and his dog. Oh, so cute. So anyway, let's get moving along here. This was one way I helped too. Okay, and this little poem came through me, and I just brought it up because I wanted to share with you. I think this was just a couple of days ago, probably within the week. This came through me. Expanding love and light, balancing it with the night. For in the dark, I am the light, glowing, growing love through you, even in your darkest night. I am you, and you are me. Together we be through all eternity. In this, truth be told, a story that never, never grows old. Interesting, eh? And look at some of the stuff that comes through me and goes, what? Or like this one, keep your heart young and pure, and there you'll find me, you can be sure. Right? Is that her source? Is that source speaking through? But those things kind of help me, and it makes me go, right? And slowly come into center. I'm a little shaky today, too, with all that pain. But that's all right, So let's move on to the smudge. Clear that off, and that's why I got that sweetgrass out today. We're going to use some sweetgrass. So the smudge clears away all the negative vibes, right? And the sweetgrass calls them in. You see, and this is part of my name and my special medicine to share, right? Sweetgrass water, right? Water is cleansing and purifying too, clearing all that off, but then calling in those good spirits, right? That's something I've gone through my life. And even just yesterday, one of the ladies at my WOW group says, you're just such a joy, And even in the times when I'm feeling at my lowest, I can go out and I will get that. I'm like, well, thanks. That helps brighten my day too. So those messages are out there if we're open to hearing them. And we can block them out going, oh, I'm feeling horrible. How can you say, I learned to just say, thank you. Right? Well, hey, that's the source light shining through me. Try and be an open channel for that. So anyway, let's find that center. How do you do that? Let's clear off here. Yeah. That's going good. It's going good. Yeah, time for higher perspective, maybe a different way of looking at these situations with our seagull and our eagle. Yeah. There we go. Oh, what's that on too? Run that sweetgrass through too. There we go. And moving into our hearts, throats. Feel that truth, that love and the light of what we are. We all are. We're always with our source. We can feel that. We can share that with others too, through the way we speak. Speak the words of truth, love, light, and beauty. Still shakes. Okay. Ears, hear all those words of beauty and the truth that's spoken to us and to be spoken through us as well. Those eyes, different higher perspective. When we look within, different and a higher perspective. When we get those stories, the names we get those stories. The energies we give to those stories. Okay. So for this much, for this sage, quiet day. I just watched Deborah Silverman, astrologist, for today's energies. It's very quiet. Or the new moon energies. Very cool. Okay. Sweetgrass. Yes. Bringing it all together, full and whole, calling in all those energies. There you go. Feel that, I'll smell that sweet grassy smell. Oh yeah. Oh, that's soothing. Okay, there we are. It smells so good. Can you smell it? Can you smell it? Run our cards over that too. There we go. Okay, let's get on, right? More stable. Still a little shake, but it's not as shaky. It's starting to come. Getting grounded, getting centered. Thank you. Now we'll start by calling in, as we do, all of our energies back to us here and now. Patience, right? When we get there with patience. This is my totem for above. Having that patience, we will get there, right? And Ant, we've talked about Ant before too. That's all finding our own purpose and our passion, finding that center. What is all this stuff saying to us? All the stuff that we're feeling, all the stuff that we're seeing in the world. What is that saying to us personally? Because it's all a reflection and for us to look at. And what's that teaching us on our own sacred paths here? And our purpose here. No matter what it is, it's all a very important part of this. Beautiful creation. It's already up. Absolutely. So let's call all of our energies back to us from the east, the past. Yeah, right? We'll get clarity and illumination on how that's to teach us and how we can move forward, making that hindsight foresight, right? So, yeah, work it in, right? There you go. So, the east, the place of fire, the spirit, man, path, illumination, right? Calling back all of our energies from the south. That's all of our emotions, the place of innocence, the child, the waters. And my waters were flowing. Yeah, I'm kind of red, still puffy around there. It's all right. It's how we cleanse and move and shift through. That's the water. It flows, right? You gotta let it flow. When you try and back that up, right? We talked about those dams too. Beavers come up for us before when it pops a little sprout, right? Everything could come out that way. So maybe we can make a little channel for it where we know where it's going to come out and we can make sure, right? Ground center bracket, right? Sometimes we learn that in school, like the ground center bracket. Sometimes we got to put it to the side, and we do need to come back to it. We need to come back to it. Just like in our relationships, if we're having disagreements or whatever, and it's okay to walk away and take that breath, but you need to come back, or else we never get any resolutions, right? And then those issues can fester and fester and then become bigger than they ever were, right? It happens. That's what happens with those emotions, right? So don't dam it up. Make sure you're allowing a flow somewhere, right? You know, sometimes it needs to do a little trickles. Sometimes, you know, there's ways you can let that all flood out of you in safe ways where it's going to help you and not hurt you more and not hurt others around you while you're doing that, right? So there's safe ways. Let's move on to the calling in all the energies of the West, the introspection, the physical, the place of earth, and the woman. So calling in all those energies of the West. Thank you, thank you. Back all of our energies, please, from the North now, right? That's the mental, that's the air, that's our wisdom years, where we can pull it all together, right, and experience, right? So we've talked before in those quadrants of the medicine wheel, in the East being the spirit, right? Pure little spirits, right? Come the miracle, that born, that little baby born, right? And we get down where we're governed by our emotions, right? We're feeling hungry, and it's those waters that help our needs get met. And then we go into that physical that physical play and that work and that hard labor, and we're learning to appreciate that. And then we come up here into the mental, the air, where we're looking back at all of that, and we realize, okay, now we can work smarter, not harder, right? And how we can use our emotions to manipulate or be manipulated by others' emotions as well, right? So that's a little bit. There's lots of teachings on the medicine wheel. It's amazing. And then there's finding that balance, right? Balancing. We're having that love and light, but there's always going to be that night. We need that balance, and we need that to appreciate those things in life, right? This grieving of my boy helps me to appreciate more of that time that I did have with him. And it was amazing. Amazing being. They all are, and you all are. We all are. It's beautiful. Okay, so we go this earth walk from south, the childhood, you know, learning the beat, marching to the beat of our own drums, and we're going up to the wisdom years to return to that place of joy, and that joy that we are all connected, we are all one. There's, for me, it's the most joyous feeling to feel all connected, so that even though he's not here, we're still connected. We always will. I was a vessel for him to come through to this earth walk, right? So I'm so grateful and feel very blessed from that. And then we go the road of spirit, is the blue road, right? The healing. That's what we're doing now. Go from east to west, right? All is healed once we return back to spirit, right? And then we can help others, maybe, right, with ours, and have a rebirth if we choose, right, to go back to the east and come back in that door, right, or keep being the guide. So have all those energies back to us, and we go above, below, and within. Alrighty, I'm just going to do the little quickie cards today. I was thinking of a Moon Lodge spread, but I was just thinking, well, let's just do, because the last time we did a Morning Star spread. So time for just a little quickie. Easy little quickie one. With our overall and then balancing the male and female energies, right? Balancing. Balancing, balancing. And that's what I'm looking for in my books to put the cards on. Oh, yeah. Oh, but I just made some more medicine, so I can go rub that on. Yeah, it's helpful. Oh, those are heavy. There we go. Oh, and I got this cool ring. It's great for my Aspie side, I guess. That's in there. Makes this jiggle. Oh, when I was younger, I loved the dangly earrings, and I would sit there. I love jingly dangly thing. I don't know if it's the gypsy in me, maybe. Could be. That's right. Baby me just shouted over here. Oh, she doesn't shout. She's just so quiet, that little baby. Yep. Yep. Apparently I wouldn't even ask for a drink of water. I just go plop myself down in front of the sink and wait till somebody come by and give me a drink of water. Now there's some days I just can't seem to shut myself up. Yeah, have my quiet times too. Balance, balance, balance. right? Crazy balances, crazy balances. But I know and I recognize it and I'm grateful for that, right? And these times. And these times too shows. I'm not a cold-hearted person. There's times where I thought, well, I don't feel anything when my grandpa died. And I hadn't seen him lots. I didn't really know him, and I was really young. He was 8. He was 8 years old at that time. And I thought, wow, how come I'm not sad that he died? That's my grandpa. I'm not sad that he died, right? And then I started getting sad that I wasn't sad. As an 8-year-old, I didn't really know that person. I didn't develop an attachment to him in that physical way because I didn't really know him, right? At least didn't have all the memories anyway. So right. So now I appreciate that when the tears come and stuff. I'm like, yeah, see, I have feelings. I'm a human being too. Anyways, let's get on. That balance. Let's finding our center. Grounding and centering. Surrounded by all our loving relations. And our source is always within us and around us, always. No matter what. So, today, what's those energies and lessons going on today? Oh, 2's coming out here. Okay, they both stuck. The potential miracles. See, things that we're getting in touch with that power, making that connection and finding that center so we can open up those to those to the potential miracles that are coming in. Things clear out of our lives, and as painful as they can be, it's opening up to make room for more potential, more miracles to come in, because who knows, the greater things that come from that, right? And sometimes it's a death of a relationship as it was, right? To be reborn into something even more beautiful and a deeper connection. Maybe, right? Because here's where everything, all that was and ever will be, is within the void. You see, this is where Creator lives. That great mystery, right? Where Creator created everything from that void. So that's what we're doing, right? That skunk, that reputation, and letting go of who we thought we were, who others think we were, and trying to be this certain reputation and build this kind of reputation, and upset because, hey, nobody's seeing it that way. 7-7, right? What's that? Like I've said before, it's Wayne Dyer that said that. It's not about your reputation. Let's work on building your character, right? Establishing that character of who we truly are, right? And what's leading us in our lives. Excuse me. There was something else, but I guess that was just coming from my own self. So we're deep in those connections. Letting go of how we thought things should look. That reputation of who I was, this was the name I was trying to make for myself, or this is what I thought. The reputation of the relationships you thought you had. For my aunt, we're always gonna, but there was too much on that. That what was coming, that's why they want to remind me of that, because I was shown a dream a long time ago, and my son lost all of his hair, hit puberty and lost all of his hair, but I'd had this dream that I had seen him someplace, and I don't know where it was. But in the dream, I bumped into him, I was like, oh, sorry, and then it was like, whoa, I didn't recognize you because you have hair. The last time I seen you, you had no hair. And in my dream, it had been like a long time since I saw him. But when I had that dream, I couldn't see in the future that I could never see. There wouldn't be anything that he would disconnect from me. There's no way we'd ever be like, the situation that we are now. So that dream comes back up to me to help me ground and go and release what I thought that was, right? Because was the attachment to my little Andy Bear, right? Even though he was bigger, that was still my son. And this is a full-grown man, and to get to know him as that man when that time comes. So he will come back, and I'm pretty sure he's going to have some hair. So we'll see. And I believe that dream was about 25, and he's 24 now, so we'll see. I'll keep you posted. A few years ago. But there's where we don't always see that if we're just stuck in this reputation or the way we think that it should be, getting hooked on that, or who we think that we are, or who we think we should be, because we need to live up to a reputation because this is who other people see us as, right? Are you getting dizzy too? I'm getting dizzy from that talking and out of breath. That's why we need to make that connection. That's where that true power lies, right? And establish that character for ourselves, right? We'll get help along the way. So let's look at that female, the creative side, but keeping in mind. That's the thought, right? That's not the action part. That's the introspection part, right? And then the male is the action part, right? And then the actions that we can take on those to help us even more along the way. You know what just came to my head? Because the last few times I grabbed this, I used to grab a card with it as an animal to go with that, to emphasize those powers of that animal, or the medicines of that animal and the powers. But isn't that funny? That just came to my head how that stuck. Those two were like stuck together when they came out. We're both stuck to my thumb. So anyways, and they don't have to come out like that. They usually pull away pretty easily. So interesting. So anyways, let's look at that. That east. And we use the eagle feathers today for that cleansing. It's getting that clarity and that illumination, right? So when we look within and we develop that connection more, right? Find that power spot within us, that empower, right? The in power that we have, that connection to that source that we all have, no exceptions, right? When we're connecting with that, we find out the miracle of who we are, right? We are not our reputation. We are not our reputation. And there's an illumination and clarity in that. We can go and fly with eagle for that. Eagle is out. That's the spirit too. That spirit is always with us and guiding us in that. If we go into that east and get that clarity, right? And confront those things that we're not. Confront all those things that we believed about ourselves. I mean, this can get repetitive. We've said this before, but this is all that inner work that we're all learning to do here. Right? That we all have to go through, find that connection within ourselves and confront where we've, fallen for even a reputation of somebody else, right? Because sometimes somebody will tell you, oh, this person's about that. Do we listen? Or do we go from our own experience? So let's confront that about others. Because look at the trouble in this world. It's all caused when we say, oh, that person's a monster. Oh, those are savages. So, right? And we detach ourselves from them because we give the others the reputation of being something nothing. And then look at the unlimited possibilities of horror that can come from that have come from that, right? But look at the unlimited possibilities. So we look at everybody as love and light, right? And get more clarity on that and confront that in ourselves and how we can turn off our feelings because we believe in something that's not true or that doesn't serve a higher purpose, that doesn't serve us, doesn't serve others, that causes more hurt and pain in the world. Right? Confront where we've just accepted things without looking deeper, right? Without looking deeper. So let's look at that in ourselves, right? And it's not about beating ourselves up for it, right? It's about having that illumination and clarity, that self-awareness, that awareness that we are all part of this great oneness divine and acting from that. Right? And treating others in that way too, that they are a divine sacred being as well, just as you are, just as I am, just as we all are. Just treat each other like that, right? There's the wisdom in that, right? Being grateful that we are all part of this great source, right? I'm grateful for the time that we had together with those ones that we loved and lost, either, because they went to the other side camp or, went over to that blue road of spirit, or whether they're still on this red road and on this earth walk. But, our paths are just not walking together at this time. But we can be grateful for the times that we do have together, right? And have that patience because it will come around again for everything that is cleared out, right? And will be filled again, right? Whatever is emptied will be filled once again, right? Love others and it will be added on to you. You begin by loving yourself and others and all the rest will be added on to you. Something like that. I'm not doing direct quotes, but have that wisdom and that gratitude. That's the action. What can you do today to show your gratitude? And honor for yourself and how far you've come and the patience that you've had. For where you have honored yourself. Take that time and have that patience. There's the actions, right? Or be like Ant, find your own special purpose. If you're feeling that calling, be grateful that I felt that calling, that I could give something in gratitude, that I can say thank you, that I'd opened up to receive. Right? That's that North Shield. It's that confronting it and being grateful. Right? Confronting, getting that clarity, and then being grateful for it and having patience for when to take that action. Right? Or sometimes it's not. I just heard that on something else. When you don't know what to do, don't do anything, right? So let it come to you. Let it come through you, because it will. Oh, it will. No doubt. So there we are. Oh, excuse me. You have a wonderful, blessed day. Biggest heart hugs ever. And, oh yeah, remember t-shirts. 20 bucks a t-shirt. I got them here. Yay. Yay. So cool. And I can order more. Any money I get from the t-shirts, and I'll order more. Okay. Yeah. Time for a little nap. I got a call coming. There's the resting. Nice quiet time. That patience is not about acting all the time, right? It's about relaxing. That's the wisdom in it, letting it come to you and being grateful. Thank you. Love you all. Biggest heart hugs. Thank you for being you and shining your light through in everything you do, because this world really needs you, right? Shine your light and shine it bright with all your might.